What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Micah. I am going to be your reader for today. This is a general reading. No specific signs included within this reading, but we are going to be speaking on a manifestation. It's going to be things generally around that subject, but I do ask that if it does resonate or if you do find this reading helpful, enjoyable, resonating, even any slightest of motivation, I ask that just hit the like button. Also subscribe if you do and post notifications so that you know exactly when I drop a video if you would like to, right? Comment anything in the comment section. Really helps the channel grow. I would love to hear you guys' feedback on my readings and things like that, right? This is going to be a general reading, as I said. It's just going to be a pretty broad, pretty straight across the board with it, right? Nothing too specific, but just more so wisdom words, right? Let's see what we got here. Alright, let's see. Here we go. First what we have for you guys is embrace the flow of life. Right? Spirit wants you guys to embrace the flow of life. There's a lot of things that might be taking place. A lot of times we often get caught up in trying to control a lot of things. Sometimes the best things are things that happen on its own occur. Like you guys ever try to control something and it didn't work out the way it planned, but it ended up working out better than what you expected. So that's pretty much embrace the flow of life. Just embrace how things go. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's not always, you forcing your way through life. Sometimes, things gonna happen or not gonna happen for the benefit of you, right? Let's see what else we got for you guys. Next we have is clear your mind. I want you guys at this moment, right? Whatever it is that you're feeling like you feel like you're gotta, really control, like I said, controlling. You feel like you gotta think too much about something. It could be anything, really. A lot of times we feel like we gotta work hard to live life. You don't, you know what I mean? What you have to do is work efficiently. Be honest in your work and whatever it is that you do, and it will come back to you times 10. It's really that simple. So when it says clear, when I'm stating to you guys to clear your mind, is clear all the whatever you feel like life should be. You know what I mean? Whatever you feel like, I'm resonating to tell you guys, whatever you feel like life should be, or whatever you feel like you gotta live a certain way or whatever, clear all of that energy out of you. You know what I mean? You can make your own destiny. You don't have to go off of what somebody else says to you or what your family wants you to do or whatever the case is. Clear your mind with all of that. There's those type of energies, you know what I'm saying? So just clear your mind with that type of stuff is what I'm specifically so a lot of times these are general words, but I tend to specifically hit a certain subject, and that is what I wanted to tell you guys as far as clear your mind. I'm picking up that I need to tell somebody out there. So whatever it is that you feel like a family member thinks that you should become, or you feel like your life should go a certain way. For example, you might want to start a career, but your family wants you to go work in government or be a police officer, whatever the case is. I'm not saying I'm not police officers. I'm just saying, in a general aspect, some people want you to become a certain career. They want you to go to school. They want your life to be a certain way. And while that's appreciative sometimes, sometimes it's the best for you, but somebody can't want the best for somebody else. Yeah, you have to work that for yourself because it's your life, you know what I mean? So clear all of that out your head. Next one we have is know your worth. This is very important. I saw recently on a video that this girl, whatever, must have went ahead and shared her income or whatever, so that in her field, if anybody else works in the field, they can know the worth and know how much, value to look for when it comes on to working that job. And then her employer must have fired her, or the company must have fired her for that. You know what I mean? No worries. I'll even tell her no worries. If I had a conversation with them, no worries, because that shows you how valuable you are. If here's the thing, never sit there and let somebody tell you your value. You know what I mean? Never belittle yourself to somebody. a lot of times not even about money. It's just principles. Knowing your value when it comes down to morals and principles is bigger than any finances. It's because it's things that you're gonna tolerate. And if you, like for example, that young lady, she did things out of the kindness of her heart. You know what I mean? She probably shared her income on like some humble things to just kind of be aware. I don't know her true intentions, but I'm just saying. And if that was her true intentions to, be allow more people around in her district or her career choice to be aware, and that was her true intentions, and she ended up getting fired for trying to spread awareness, and maybe the company looked at it a certain way, but that's her personal choice. But see, that's what they do. Sometimes they don't want you to know your worth. Companies don't really want you to know how valuable you are. Because if you're an asset, they have to treat you like an asset. But as long as you don't recognize that you're an asset, they're going to continue to try to treat you like you're trash. The whole time they know you're an asset to them. So just when you guys are working these jobs that you got to go in and clock in, know your worth. You know what I mean? I don't care what you got to do, what other job you got to go. Don't let anybody disrespect you. You know what I mean? Start making your way out of there or whatever. Like, know your true value and put money aside because the money will come. I promise you, the money will come. If you are passionate enough and you're consistent enough about it, it will come one day. And the longer you wait, the better the results. So, the longer you wait, the better the reward. So that's what I gotta tell you guys. Just know your worth with everything that you do. Right? Know you guys' worth. It's very important. Right? It really is. Next we have is go wild. Go wild like a lion. Listen. I was watching like this motivational speaker, and I speak about this a lot, but I really want to like encourage this with you guys because they say that the reason why a gazelle runs from a lion, the reason why a lion chases a gazelle is they're wired differently. They're both two different beasts, but they're both beasts in the eyes of the human, but they're wired differently as far as like in nature. One's trained, one's wired to hunt, and the other one is wired to run. And be a lion, go wild like a lion. That's what the picture with her is wild, so it's like go wild like a lion. And I want you guys to rewire your brains a little bit. You know what I mean? Rewire yourself to believe that if you believe in something strong enough, it can happen, it can occur. You know what I mean? But whatever it is that you do, have no limitations in it. Don't allow things your surroundings to limit you. Don't allow you to feel like, and let me tell you, right? You're going to have them days where you feel disappointed, or you feel stressed out, and all the negative feelings in the world, but those type of moments is going to prepare you for, what's next to come. So just kind of hold on to those moments and realize that there's only temporary feelings. I say that because when you get to a certain point where you can start investing your dream and your goals, take control of that. Like, for an example, I recently just bought an AC, but it's for my workspace because I want to be comfortable. You know what I'm saying? Now it took time to get that done. It took a little patience, and I want you guys to know that not all the time you're gonna be able to get what you want right there and then, but that's the beauty of it. The fact that you probably somebody that didn't really come out from a great income family and all of that. When you do receive those blessings, you appreciate them more when you're not used to it, or when you're not used to getting those type of things. So I want to encourage you guys to have a little patience and have no limitations on things. When the opportunities come your way, go full force. Don't feel like, oh well, like for me, I could have been like, well, I could save money, but nah, it's like, no, go out and do your thing. Like with the AC, it was like buy the AC. So same thing with you guys. You guys get the opportunity to go invest in your dreams, and you can chase your desires, and you save up for a whole year's savings or whatever it is that you're gonna do. You might need a partner, you might work, she might stay home and do her business again. Her business takes off again. You might stay home and do your business, and both of y'all free from, just working. Not saying you're free from work, but saying you're free from working for other people. You know what I mean? And now you get to work on your goals. So when opportunity comes, take full force with it. Go wild. Don't be limited. Don't let the circumstances limit you. Don't let that fear limit you. You know what I mean? The fear of, like, for example, the fear of once you got it's pretty simple, but we're not gonna spend too much time on it. I just wanted to get that across to you guys. So we have leave the past behind. It's a strong one. You know what I mean? This is very difficult for all of us. It doesn't matter who you are, it doesn't matter how strong you are mentally, physically, emotionally, financially, spiritually, whatever the case is. You're always going to have past moments and reminisce on the past. It's healthy though, you know what I mean? I don't want you guys to feel like it's not healthy to reminisce on the past. Sometimes it is because you can know where you came from. But leaving the past behind, just more so don't focus on holding it, you know what I mean? Like, you wanna think back on like, oh man, I remember I started from her and now I'm her. Like, that's fine. But don't allow something that happened, like a relationship, for example. Don't allow your ex to determine your now. You know what I mean? Oh, the ex did something like this, but now you're in a new relationship. Everything's good. Don't bring up those trauma situations to your mind to help you think that this person's doing. You know what I mean? Like, don't just jump to conclusions because this person might have missed a phone call or something. Like, kind of just give it some time. You know what I mean? Like, you've probably been through that trauma, but let's not try to trauma dump it on the next person if we don't know 100% sure. You know what I mean? You don't want to ruin a relationship because of a past situation. So I do want to let you guys know, just whatever the case is, just kind of just get used to just leaving it, leaving it in the past. It's fine to reminisce a few times here and there, to know where you came from, know how far you came. That's healthy because that keeps you that motivation, that drive to keep pushing, because then you can see how far you can go if you be consistent. But it's more about not allowing it to determine your now. You know what I mean? Not allowing your past to determine your present. What else you got for us, Spirit? Next we have to be proud of yourself. We as people of society, we often down ourselves so much. Crazy. Like, look, you woke up this morning, you feel me? You might be sitting there watching a video, right? Brushing your teeth. Get up in the morning and do something. But let me tell you something, right? When you get up out of your bed, you've won the ultimate battle. Because you can't do nothing in your day unless you get out of bed. Unless you get up out of that bed. And it sounds so cliche and, that's generic. Everybody knows that. It's powerful though. It's powerful. You cannot do anything else unless you get up out of your bed. So what does that say? It's like, if you know that, and you know you got up out of your bed this morning, you know you brushed your teeth. I don't care if you brushed your teeth and went back in your bed. You still got up out of your bed. So, and I love to use that analogy because I was watching this video and this lady said that she pretended like NASA was there. And then she said 3, 2, 1 and she got up out of her bed and she started her day. Because that's one of the hardest things. Everybody likes the bed. It's comfortable. It's sleep. You know what I mean? Sleep is like the closest thing to just resting. You know, your body is just in a comfort state. And once you break that comfort state, it's hard to, keep going. Like to get up in the morning. So, especially with lack of motivation, if you're going through a lot, especially. But be proud of the fact that you woke up and got part of your bed. If you can't be proud of nothing else in your day, be proud of that. If you can't be proud of any of your accomplishments in your whole entire life, be proud that you woke up out of your bed. Because you know how difficult that is, especially when you're comfortable. You know there are times where it's like, it's cold, you know what I mean? And you're under them warm covers, but you still get up out of your bed. Be proud of them moments. There's little things. Once you recognize those little things, it makes the big things like graduating high school so much better. Because you're like, wow, if I could get up out of bed, through all of that depression, all of that, you know what I'm saying? And then go and graduate high school, or go and finish college, or go and get a job, or go and make my time, or go and start my career, or go and you start to realize, clean my house, keep my area clean, cook my meals. You start to realize like, wow, I made it. Like, you feel me? Like, so yeah. So be proud of yourself, right? Confirmation. Let's see what we got here. So we have, see the bigger picture. And as I said before, regarding the fact that you have to focus on the big things so much, we forget about the small things. But here's the thing. So if you be part of the small things, the big things will make more sense. You know what I'm saying? Like for example, I know it sounds very confusing, but listen. Let's say a house, like a mansion, right? Mansion, huge. You're trying to get a house, but forget the mansion. You're trying to get a house. There's so much components within a house, and so much things, lawyer fees and finances, and expenses, and all of these things that you have to kind of focus on. That you hyperventilate over a house. Like we often think that a house is so massive. It's like if a house costs $1 million, how much people really literally the middle class for the most part blows to like 500K every 10, 20 years, you know what I'm saying? But it's 500K times 2, so only $1 million is only 500K times 2, so I'm really trying to break it down to you guys. If we stop focusing on the massive, the big picture, and we focus on the small details of which thing that maintaining the house or whatever the case is, such as paying bills on time, doing all this, doing all that, maintaining the property. The small things, we end up seeing the bigger picture. So it's kind of crazy because it's like, if you focus, it's like we see the bigger picture, but I want to break it down to you guys in a simpler fashion that I want you guys to focus on the small details that make up the big picture so that you understand it. Because you can know your dreams and goals and all of that, right? You can know that you want to be successful. Everybody knows they want to be successful, they want to be happy, they want to be, they want to have goals and dreams and desires. Sometimes people actually, let me tell you guys something. Even though people's lives have made a turn or whatever, at some given point, every man and woman that's ever walked this earth has some type of goal and desire. Good or bad. They've had goals and desires, right? I'm not here to judge nobody, but what I can say is, certain situations obviously took that for a turn, depending on people's lives and how they took them. But what I can say is, everybody's had a goal. Some people decide either they're going to work towards that goal, or they're just going to have that goal and just think about it and that's it. The best way to work towards a goal is taking baby steps. You know what I mean? And I want you guys to really learn to take baby steps towards that journey. Along the way, invest in yourself, appreciate yourself, motivate yourself. It's like I said, I'm gonna bring up the AC again. The AC is good, it's cool, the room's cool now. I feel a lot more comfortable in my workspace. Had I not had resources or the finances, I wouldn't have bought it, but that wouldn't have stopped me from working. It's just like, because I had the resources, I'm gonna buy an AC, I'm gonna invest. And investment or currency, as far as money, doesn't always have to be financing, it can be energy as well. So you're investing into your energy. I want to say that because along the way, you're going to make investments in your career. You're going to make investments in your work life, your family life, all of these things. So along the way, that is where you will start to understand your journey, understand your purpose, and understand the bigger picture. That's what it's all about, right? And the understanding part of it. Not just knowing the bigger picture and knowing what you want in life, but understanding why you want it and how you're going to get there, right? So the last one we have for you guys is push through any insecurities. And of course, it's very self-explanatory, but I can't break it down for you guys. But like I said, there's going to be times where, like right now, it is currently like 9 o'clock p.m. I got to go work out after this. It is dark. However, I work out on my porch. Thankfully, got a little light. Some days I don't feel like exercising. I'm not saying this to say about exercising. What I'm saying is, you're going to sometimes feel, at first, that, I don't really feel like doing this. But let me tell you, A wise person once told me that start the activity and then decide after you feel like doing it or not. Because I promise you, once you start the activity, it's like running, right? You don't feel like going for a run. You start running. All of a sudden, you're all right. It's like going to work. You didn't feel like going to work. And no, I will say this. If you have a job where you're not really into it, if you have a passion, you have a purpose, you can start making moves towards that purpose and that journey. You start to, if it's possible that you don't have to focus too much on finances, then make that decision, depending on your situation. But what I can say is, once you just focus on the principles of what you want in life, everything else will work itself out. Now, I say that to say going to work. If, typically you're driving to work, don't want to go. Once you get in the car, and you get in the job site, and then you start working because you have to, you don't think about it no more. Apply that same military mindset, because in a sense it's a military mindset, towards your day-to-day life, towards clean dishes, towards keep your house clean, towards anything that you're doing. Sometimes we're not going to feel like doing things, and that's okay. But I encourage you guys to start the activity and then decide if you wish to continue. It's like a sick day at school. When we're sick, typically our parents will still send us to school, right? Just to see how sick we are, most times, right? It's not until you start throwing up that you actually come back in. Some days you go to school and by the time that first period or whatever, your headache's going and then you don't feel sick anymore after playing. You know what I mean? And that's how life is sometimes as adults. Like, we have to just start the activity and just see halfway if we actually wish to continue. Like, if you start whatever activity that you gotta do, that's on paper. You're like, yo, I'm gonna handle this. I'm gonna go to this night class. And you start that, and then you start really feeling like it's not for you. You switch the journey. But don't allow your feelings, your prior feelings, before you start the activity to determine on actually beginning the activity, if you know what I'm saying. Like, for example, if you guys have training days or school class nights or whatever the case is, and you're like, yo, I don't feel like cooking tonight, or I don't feel like doing this, I don't feel like doing that. You never do it. You never even started. You might even get over the feeling after 10 or 20 minutes. And then it's like, it just makes more sense to go ahead and just start the activity. Especially if this is a need. It's not something that you've decided in the day. This was something that's prior. I'm not talking about don't feel like cooking and then, you go treat yourself. I'm not talking about that type of situation. I'm talking about a situation, a day-to-day thing that you do that's going to put you further in your goal. Along the way, you're going to want to invest into yourself. Like, for example, you don't feel like cooking dinner, that's a different subject, because you can go down the road, go buy yourself some food. You deserve it. You work hard. But situations like if you're trying to be physically fit or mentally educated, and then you're like, yo, I'm going to read every day, start the activity before you just decide on that you don't want to do it. You know what I mean? So working through those insecurities, working through those moments where you feel like you don't really feel your best self, right? Appreciate you guys so much for tuning in on this reading. If you find it helpful, enjoyable, even if you find anything that I said resonated, like just anything that was helpful, just ask you to give a thumbs up on this video. That's all I ask for you guys. Subscribe to the video, as I said before. Those notifications, and then when I drop a video, and comment anything in the comment section below. I love wisdom quotes. I'm actually starting these shorts where I do wisdom quotes, so if you want to check out my shorts, feel free to do as well. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I will see you guys in the next video. Oh, and by the way, before I end this video, I do zodiac reads too. Just basically the same reads, but I just apply my energies towards zodiacs. I have these cards that I read them off, so I just go in order with these zodiacs. So tune in for that. I do regular reads and I do zodiac reads, so just tune in for them, and we'll see what messages comes out for you guys. Let's just play by the ear. Not really nothing playing as Spirit likes it the best. We just don't play enough, and we just let Spirit talk to us, right? So thank you guys so much for tuning in again. Not going to hold you guys anymore. See you guys soon.